How much latency does a Behringer wing have? And what is the lowest possible latency setting in Wave's Super Rack Performer? If that is the question you have asked yourself, then this video is for you. Hi, my name is Thorsten Sauerbrei and I'm an audio engineer. Over the last more than 20 years, I recorded, mixed and mastered hundreds of records, mixed countless live shows on a variety of different desks in a lot of different venues. One thing that is becoming more and more important is the possibility of live mixing with plugins, like Waves for example. In this video, I will walk you through my setup and measure the exact time it takes for the signal to travel from A to B. No guessing, no rough estimation, no
"this is near zero latency blah blah."
Just real numbers. So let's dive right in.
Okay, so here is our measurement setup. I'm using Smart to generate a test signal, which in my case is pink noise, but you can use other signals as well, it doesn't matter. I'm sending the same signal to two different outputs. One is routed directly back into the input, so it creates a loop. This is our reference signal. The other input is our measurement signal. To check if everything is working as it should be, I will do a first measurement with the output routed directly to the input as well. So it creates a loop again. So basically what we are testing here is one input against the other input. Our expectation is that there is no latency. Let's see. Nice, there we have it. So as we checked that our measurement is set up correctly, we can do the first real measurement. Now we are patched into the analog input number 2 and the analog output number 1 on the mixing desk. Let's see what will happen. So there is 1.33 milliseconds of round-trip latency at 48 kHz from analog input to analog output. Let's see what happens when we engage the insert effect. The insert effect is patched in the following way. The internal wing Dante card is connected to a Focusrite RedNet PCIe NX card, which lives in a Sonnet Thunderbolt chassis that is connected to my MacBook Pro M4 Max. As a VST host, I'm using Waves Super Rack Performer in version 15. The buffer size is set to the lowest possible setting, which unfortunately is only 32 samples. I know the M4 is capable of more, but it's not possible. So let's engage the insert switch. (4.54 milliseconds). This is the full round-trip latency. If we take a look at the numbers, you can see that 3.21 is the delta delay, which means that this is the full round-trip of the insert signal path. The current delay setting is the round-trip latency of the wing from analog input to analog output. So if you add the two numbers, you get 4.54 milliseconds, which is the time it takes from the analog input to digital to Waves Super Rack Performer and back to the analog output. So here is the test with the Waves SoundGrid card. Again, we start with the round-trip latency of the analog path, and interestingly enough, there is 1.5 milliseconds. This is 0.17 milliseconds more than with the internal Dante card. I guess I must have made a mistake in the routing, but it doesn't matter very much for our purpose, as we want to measure the round-trip latency of the digital path. So let's engage the insert switch. And there we have the numbers. Full round-trip 6.42 milliseconds. SoundGrid round-trip latency 4.92 milliseconds at 48 kHz and 32 samples buffer size. Now we measure the USB interface. So I changed the audio device in Super Rack Performer from Waves SoundGrid to Wing, which is the USB interface of the Wing. Again, the same procedure, measuring the round-trip latency from analog input to analog output, setting the time 0, and engaging the insert switch. The numbers, as expected, aren't that great. We have a full round-trip latency of 8.81 milliseconds, which means that the USB interface of the Wing adds 7.31 milliseconds of latency.